Happy Friday, tour.
Happy National Donut Day, Consuelo.
It is National Donut Day. You know, that means I should put a donut on.
Oh, that's true.
Here, let me get my
That's true.
interface on. I was like totally ready to go, but we're still rolling. We're going with it. I'm going to accept my sales note cards from Noveni. Apparently, they have a wood jacuzzi set that's making a feature in our opening here. But
Wood jacuzzi.
Yeah. So, why don't you want finding a donut? Why don't you tell the people what we're up to today?
Okay, so this weekend, gonna try to get 2 videos out. This one is gonna just be an update to talk about. We haven't been around for a little bit. Not for lack of wanting, but for a number of reasons and things, and basically just gonna give a little bit of an update on where we've been, what we've been up to, things like that. You know, and because our last video was 4/12. Oof.
4/12, so it was almost a 2-month break.
Almost 2 month. Yeah, we'll call it a break.
Hiatus.
Involuntary break.
Involuntary hiatus.
Yes.
We were missing making videos for everybody.
Yeah.
But I mean,
there you go. There's some
right. This is classic Lala right here. I love
classic
a donut.
Lala donut.
Donut kebabs. Like this is a classic profile picture of mine.
Yes,
so
it is.
Yeah. So I figure most people can tell if you've watched my videos before that my voice is not right, and that's because it is still not 100%. It's going on like 2 weeks of no voice to whisper to gravelly, and now I'm like at the end of gravelly.
Yeah, last week you barely had anything.
Yeah, there was no chance at a video, and I said, you know what? I am not 100%, but we're making a video anyway because it's been far too long.
Yeah.
And today was my last day of work.
Woo!
So I am officially on summer break.
Summer break.
So I will have a lot more time. I plan on doing some things in First Life I need to do, but I feel like there's going to be more streaming.
Good.
So
more streaming, more Lala.
More streaming, more wardrobe, maybe. You know, I know Mad P is our thing. There's a lot of Mad P for us to catch up on. I have to talk to you about that. Like, we got to schedule it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Because if there's Mad P things you don't want to do, then I'll go ahead and dive in and do it myself. So. But I don't think there's usually a Mad P thing you don't want to do. So.
Yeah, I enjoy those quite a bit.
Yeah. But so 4/12 was our last Fliff video.
Yes.
And then I never posted it to our channel, but I've shared it on our socials. And the weekend after the Fliff, we didn't Fliff on the was it the 19th? That's 19th, because or the 20th. It was the 20th that weekend because we had our renewal.
Yes.
So
we did.
I'll probably link that in the description of this. But what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say that was absolutely lovely.
I loved it.
it was definitely we were hammering on it up to the last minute to get things going.
Yep, because we were fighting for time, and I'm glad we did because I didn't want to blow past like the 5th year anniversary.
Agreed.
To me, that seems special. I mean, we're not people who do a lot of big over the top stuff anyway, so.
Yeah.
You know, we had our initial ceremony and then, you know, like, yay, happy anniversary, right? In between. And then it was like 5th year, like I wanted to do something special. So.
Yes. And this time around, wonderfully, it was captured on video by Jackson
Red Star. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen his videos before. And he's like, from the look of SL YouTube, I want to say he's probably the biggest wedding videographer for SL. So I had to have him. Maybe when we do our 10th year, if he's still around doing it, we should do the package that has voice in it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was nice. Although we would have had a lot of voice in ours if that was the case. So.
Which would have been fine. That would be the kind of thing we'd pre-record anyway.
Yeah, we would. So it was a lovely video. And Jackson did an amazing job, just like I knew he would. And
definitely.
Like I said, I'll share it in the description so people can see it if you did.
It was really nice to see, you know, our friends that showed up. That was That was very special.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So that was what happened on the 19th or the 20th, whatever I have to look at a calendar to remind myself what day of the week. I want to say it was a Sunday.
Yes, and I promptly fell horribly ill.
It was the 20th. Like right after?
Yeah.
Or were you falling ill that day?
I started to decline just throughout the week, rapidly. And by the following weekend, that next weekend, I pretty much was just completely stuck in bed the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I barely... It was rough.
So we didn't fliff after the ceremony because of that. And then after that, I just followed you down the sick hole.
Yeah. I mean, I was still recovering. I was actually going through what you were going through, which is I completely lost my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I was, I was having trouble keeping food down and such.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you've gone through that.
No, thank goodness. I love, I love food.
Yeah. Well, I've got some here.
Plenty.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was that was not a good time. Still don't quite know what it was. It seemed to it was very flu-like symptoms that latched on. I tested for COVID. At least at the time that I tested, it was negative.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means, because it could be that it onset as that, and then, once that itself goes away, you tend to have lingering symptoms even after COVID itself is gone.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. It could have just been a flu that got devolved into an infection compounded with allergies. Not sure. But yeah, then you've followed up with getting sick.
And I think for me, like I said, I didn't have I can't keep food down part, but I had a horrible cough. It was nonstop. It made my chest hurt. Yeah. And it woke me up all the time. So I wasn't sleeping. I would wake up
all the time, and the coughing fits. Yeah, I would feel like I was bruising my own chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like after so many days of that, I felt like I had done crunches nonstop. And I was just not happy. And so it forced me to take some half days, or not even quite half days, but a couple of shortened days of work and maybe one day off, because I was basically sick the entire month of May, and obviously still sick into June. But at this point, it's just a lot of things have dried up. I've gone through different types of medicines. I've been to the doctor 2 or 3 times. And the last couple times they're like, probably seasonal allergies. Because I live I live inland in Southern California. And so it's very bad air quality around here. And so the doctors are like, a lot of people around here have seasonal allergies. The air quality's no good.
Right.
So I just have never been an allergy person. So that was what's hard, because the last couple of years I've noticed I get really sick in May. And this time it was really bad. Apart from the last time I got super sick, I had the pneumonia and the flu, and it was terrible. But I always feel like I always get some kind of something in May the last 2 or 3 years.
I've never really had a strong allergic reaction either, but it feels like it's been coming on harder the last few years. I agree with you. And that could be just, weather patterns changing and trees going just ballistic, spewing their, pollen everywhere.
Trying to adjust my kebab right here quick.
Yeah.
It's bothering me. Okay, kebab
adjusted. I'm glad at least that those issues held off until after the 20th.
Yes, because it would have been really sad if we had to cancel everything because we were too sick to do it.
That would have been immensely frustrating and disheartening.
Very disappointing, yeah. So
we did get that at least.
I'm glad the universe held off on the shit show that was the last 8 weeks. So.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So okay. So
now,
we've covered those.
And
yeah.
I want to touch on a little bit more on one thing as well, which is in the midst of that, while I was completely down that one weekend, I couldn't really fully rest either. I know you were doing like half days and such occasionally.
Not even quite half. It was like 2 hours. I would take 2 hours at the end of after school is out, and it was like the kids were gone and everything. Then I'm like, okay, now I can take care of me. I'm going home early.
Yeah. So even I took like a week off from my in-office job, but for a fair bit of that, I was also having to meet obligations on my side job, on my on my business that I've been trying to build up, because there were some hard deadlines that had to be met there.
It was super crunch time for you.
Yeah, it really was. It was not a good time to be sick. So yeah, there was that. And I know you were trying to close out the school year, so we weren't really hopefully we'll be able to take better care of ourselves.
I was barely surviving. Like, May is a terrible time to take off for me. Like, my first birthday's in May, and I can't even really celebrate that because school is so demanding in May. And so and I couldn't take time off. I just couldn't. So that's why I'm carving out like 2 hours here or there.
That's another thing. It's not even on our list of topics, but also happy birthday
thanks.
Back from May.
Thank you.
I know we didn't really get a chance to do anything about that in world or
well, it's like I just said, there's no time.
Yeah.
All the celebration for me starts in June.
But hey, for anyone watching, there was a birthday event that also occurred.
Yes. So
yes, we can move to next.
Yeah, we have a list of things to catch up. This is
I
don't even know what we're gonna call this video. I feel like it should be like the Rizzlers are back, or we've got our Riz back, or something. I gotta throw some more of that middle school slang in there. Like, I showed you that video from TikTok where the teacher's like making a speech to her middle school class, and she's using all the slang. It was on point.
That was
she
that
ate
was really
and left no crumbs for real.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so my interface is still on. Let me turn that off. Anyway, so the next thing on it, we made a little list of things that need to be caught up on, and you put on there my circle, and I wasn't expecting that. So
well, that's a big thing, though.
It is a big thing. I'm finally running like basically I like to say Wiccan because I'm Wiccan, so when I run a group it's Wiccan, but it's Wiccan plus like pagan. Just not everybody in the group's Wiccan, but I'm doing a class or a club or an organization. I call it my pagan fellowship at LLP, Little Learners Preschool.
Pagan fellowship.
And so
magical nuggets.
Yeah, so I do little pagan things with the littles over at LLP, and it's been great because I just I've been wanting to do a group, but I've always been really kind of hesitant about it because just doing a group like blind open to the grid, I don't really want to deal with that. So I'd rather do it.
Plus, what you identified not too long ago was that there's a lot of interest in that crowd, but they can't go to most of the circles that are on grid.
That's right. That's what really hit home for me with it, is because I know I've wanted to do a group, and then I wasn't really sure how I wanted to pull that off, and I didn't really want to deal with like riffraff or just people griefing or any things like that. So I needed a special forum. And so when I've been part of LLP now for a while, I'm actually kind of one of the more senior staff members at this point, because people come and go, things happen,
Of course.
And so I still do my photography class, which is going to be kind of evolving because I've taught all like the basic compositional things. So it's going to kind of transition into a yearbook class.
Okay.
Or I might flip flop it. Like I might do a yearbook for a time, or I might have a yearbook session, and then for people who still need like the basics or just want to take pictures and not do yearbook. So I might alternate it between the two. So I'm still sorting that out because my teaching has been affected, obviously, with being sick as well. So I haven't been able to have class. And this week is Relay for Life is like their big, doing the laps and stuff. So they're doing that on Saturday. And so my class is usually on Saturday. So all the classes at LLP are canceled on Saturday so that people can go out and support Relay for Life.
Woo! Yeah, Relay for Life.
So I do a pagan fellowship called Moonlit Pathways at LLP, and I do it on Sundays at 5 p.m. And I want to say I get a pretty decent turnout from what I've observed, different classes and the level of turnout at the different classes at LLP. So I want to say it's always on average about 15 people. So that's a pretty decent amount of people showing up to do pagan fellowship. So it's been kind of a combination of doing a circle like I've done and you've been a part of before, and now hopefully that we're better, that you would come join us for circle as well. And then the other part of it is we're working on our grimoires right now. So that's because the kids at LLP like a worksheet. I know this. So we're building grimoires, and that's basically like, I consider it like your magical handbook. And so we're going through some of the basics of witchcraft and like pagan practice and stuff to build into their grimoires. And they're excited about that. So it's kind of a mix between circle and grimoire building at the moment. So, and I get some nice positive feedback, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, and I've been really wanting to go to those, but my time has been fairly crunched, though is easing up. As I hoped to be more done with things earlier, but getting sick really did slow me down on a lot of stuff. So that's dragged on a few weeks out longer than I wanted. Yeah. But that's all kind of coming to a nice, clean point now. So I'm freed up from some obligations there because, most everything had a hard deadline date of through the fiscal year. So, and that's ending.
Fiscal years.
Yeah, so I'm should be able to make it out to your circles, and we should be able to do things again more regularly, which will be good.
Yeah, so it's kind of like touching back on MadP, for example, because there is a lot of MadP out. So much.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, and I feel really bad because MadP did take a chance on me, and it was just at the worst time.
Well, maybe they'll watch this and understand.
Maybe
you were starting your own business on the side with like full-on programming.
Yeah.
So that's very demanding, and being in a full-time office job as well.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be cool about it. I feel like the MadP people are cool.
They are very cool people. I don't mind either way. I also want to be cautious about like overcommitting because I do want to have time that we can do things.
Yep. I always challenge your bandwidth. I know this. I think you were the one that originally told me that you only have so much bandwidth, and that became a thing. I've never heard anyone say that. But you're a programmer.
Way of thinking about things.
So I get it.
Yeah.
And what's funny? Here's a sidebar to the bandwidth thing.
Ooh.
Because I enjoy doing all the things. I often ignore my own bandwidth. And
yeah, you do. Yeah.
As it was my last day of work, I also, because I always kind of dodge what I do in First Life. We all know I'm an educator, right? But I'm also a leader, right? So I'm a leader in the educational setting. And as it was my last day, I also had my evaluation today with my supervisor. And one of the things they told me is that they know I like to do all the things. I'm like, you are right. Like that is not just limited to SL things. It's
That's
work
true.
things. And I really had to like not laugh too hard when she told me that. And it wasn't bad. She's like, I love that you love to, like, you're down for all of it. And I said, yes. And she's like, but sometimes you have to choose. You can't do all the things. And I'm like, but I really love all the things. So it's funny. It's amusing, and like I'm glad that it's true in both lives. In first and second life, I love doing all the things. There are so many things to do that would enrich a situation.
Agreed.
And it's not limited to second life for me. So but that's not a newsflash for me. It's just funny that more people would be like, hey, we've noticed you like to do all the things. So
oh goodness.
Anyway, you were talking about your bandwidth. So yes, circling back to MadP. So you may not necessarily have time to script for them in the way that maybe they would have liked you to script for them.
Yeah, if I want to feel things out with where my time is, and if I do think I can stack that in, if I can spin that plate, then I'll reach out to engage them again.
Yeah.
If I just, if anyone over there is watching, no hard feelings at all. I actually feel terrible about the timing of it and the fact that you guys did extend and take a chance on me. And I just really genuinely didn't have the time to step in. I did communicate that early. I gave them the estimate that I thought in April I would have time. That just didn't happen. So
well, it doesn't help being sick as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and like I said, I want to stream some MadP, and we still have the green light from them on that. So I'm sure they'll be, excited to see that again. I know Kiana was great, and then there was another gal who was participating in the stream. And so I know they're down for it, if we're doing it. And then that's what we'll talk more about it off camera, just as far as what you're willing to, what you really want to be a part of, so I don't overrun that. And if there's other things that you're like, I'm fine if you do it on your own, then I will do that. So, because I have a feeling there'll be some more streaming going on during the week, but not to lose sight of the other things I have to do. I just want to say that, because we have talked about that. But once I have a project I'm working on, so I have to make sure now that summer's here that now I'm working this project is my full-time job now. Right?
Yes.
So it's like I'm working from home on this, like I'm just like being like a I don't know, like a writer, right? So I need to focus and get this writing done. But you can only write so much before you need to have an SL break. Like a break to do SL things, not a break from SL.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a but coming, because you buckle down a lot harder than I do, and we've talked about this.
Yeah, the main but that I would put on there is a lot of times your SL breaks turn into the rest of the day, no matter when they start, because you get involved in a thing, and then you get involved in another thing, and then another thing.
Well, let me amend. Let me interrupt you quite rudely and amend what I just said. So I would work on the writing the majority of the day. This is not, I'm going to write for 2 hours, take an SL break, and then come back to writing. Not that, because I know you're right. You are right. So I would have to get up, do my writing, keep writing. If I take a break, it might be to get up and go away from the computer, watch a little TV or something, and then come back, right?
Gotcha.
Or go outside and play with my dogs. Or maybe I take my dogs to the dog park, because this Malinois is crazy. I'm telling you.
The Maligator.
The Maligator, oftentimes I will call him Chaos. I have seen Belgian Malinois named Chaos, and it makes complete sense. This dog, he is already a little taller than Riker, and the energy is no lie, no joke. You play with him, and you think he's done, and then at night, he's mouthy. He's like a husky in that way. He'll sit in front of you and just be like bitching, like, why are you sitting there and why aren't you playing with me? So my son is good about taking him out to play.
That's good.
But now I feel some responsibility with that too. But Because before this Malinois, I had a German Shepherd. They have a lot of similarities. Like, I thought they would be more different, but they're really not. So I feel, though, the difference, maybe the only difference that I can see right now, is that the Malinois is just a lot more energy. That's the marked difference for me. But he's very shepherd. They're both shepherds, basically. Because I've also seen Belgian Malinois referred to as Belgian Shepherds. So you have a German Shepherd of a Belgian Shepherd, right? So there's a lot of shepherd similarity for sure. And shepherds are a lot of work. So at this stage of my life, I am very much a Labrador person. They're pretty chill.
Less high maintenance.
Oh yeah. So, and I oftentimes, it's like, when is my son coming home from work to take care of his dog? Because this dog is crazy. So I feel like I'm babysitting him, and he's a lot of work. And he is he's going to be 8 months old this month. Wow. So a lot of energy and a big dog, and very mouthy. He likes to put everything, including your hand and any body part, in his mouth. So if anybody out there has experience with Malinois, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so what's next on the list? The catch-up list. We're talking about Mad P. That wasn't on your list. It just happened.
Right.
Oh, I see the next thing.
Yeah.
So you want me to touch on that? Since it was, I brought it up to you.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
So, for a little bit of time, I had went back into roleplay because I missed roleplay, and then I have friends in Gore, so I had gone back to Genesian Port, and then things got busy, and I felt like we were taking a little break from it, and I was kind of waiting for you to be done being busy, so that we could go back into Gorean roleplay, but I've just kind of lost my desire for it. So
yeah, there were a few. I don't want to get into the details, but there were also a few things that just left a.
Yeah, there were some challenges in the role play. When I was having it, and it was just kind of a lot. So I took a break at that point, and then I was waiting for you to not be busy, and then I was like, you know what? I'm okay with not doing Gorean roleplay. So, and then I also, that's when I got busier with LLP.
And some of our, closer friends there are also kind of stepping back from it, which weighs into our decisions as well. Yeah.
So I think this weekend we'll probably be cleaning up over there because we were going to last weekend. I have a rental over there, so I think I have to check it, but I think it's on its final days. So, because I've been paying rent there for months and not even been there because I'm happy to support the Sim. They're my friends.
Right. Yeah.
But at this point, I don't see us going back, and I don't want to take up space for people who may want to enjoy that space.
Right.
So yeah, I was telling a friend about this decision, I want to say about a week or two ago now. And she understood. So, but yeah, so we're going to take a step back from that. But I've really kind of occupied myself more with LLP. And then, as people know, I play a little as well, so I do have a little avatar, and it's just kind of nicer. Like, there's just not the same stuff that comes. Obviously, playing a little and playing Gore are complete opposites. So
yeah,
and I don't know, doing the little stuff is just so much simpler that it's like refreshing.
Yeah,
so,
I think there's also. There's also kind of a more purity of intent of just wanting to genuinely have fun and enjoy each other's company and just, play or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas there's in a lot of RP sims that are, especially ones that are more adult oriented, there's a lot of times any interaction, there's like a subtext with many players of, hey, we're interacting, therefore maybe we should have sex at some point, or whatever.
Yeah, and that's a challenging part for me because I'm not looking for that kind of role play, but
me neither.
Almost always ends up going there, and I'm like, it's not really what I'm after. So So that's why it was like, I was really in Gore because I wanted to be with friends that I've role played with in the past. They're good people, good community. And I wanted to, and I brought you along because like Gore wasn't at the top of your list, that's for sure. But I mean, it made for a fun story, given, you know, your stance on things.
And I don't want to sound, you know, too negative about it either. There was genuinely, I did have fun there with you.
Yeah, we had some good times for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just curious, you know, because both of us love role play. So I'm just curious when or if we will ever find that place again, you know? Like, we role play with each other, which has always been fine. But role playing in a bigger community, like you and I have both enjoyed periods of really good role play in Second Life, like before we knew each other. But since we've come together, trying to find a place to role play together has been kind of a challenge. So
it has. Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's impossible, and I'd be curious if folks have role play sims they would recommend. But it's also the time. There's a lot of things we like to do. I'm very invested in LLP. We make videos. I want to stream. You and I are supposed to be starting a class with Poe on creation. So soon, next month. Got to circle back to Poe on that. So there's a lot. We have a lot of little interests and projects. So,
and even in the course of taking that class, it's not just going to be the class, because I know both of us. We're going to want to flex those new tools that we're going to be picking up from Poe and trying things out and like actually practicing and experimenting with it.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on and just not a lot of time. So I don't see roleplay for us in the near future unless we have like the vignettes that we've had every now and again here and there. But you know, we just enjoy doing things together, and I think that's what counts the most.
I would agree.
If roleplay falls in our lap, then that's fantastic. But I don't think we're gonna actively seek it right now. So
I'm inclined to agree. Yeah.
All right. What was next on your list? I think it's me again. Yeah.
Yes, it is. You're going to be performing at SLB 21.
SLB 21. That's right. And
DJ La La.
That's right. And I think I was checking the schedule and your guy dropped out. He's not there anymore. Remember I picked my time slot to be right next to, was it Roz? Was that his name?
Yeah, it was Roz.
Yeah, he's not on the list anymore. It's somebody else.
Well, that's a bummer.
So, I was looking to see if he moved up or down that day, and he's just not there. Because the schedule's filling up. Like, it's all full around me.
Yeah, but we're going to have a time slot right adjacent to
Roz and catch his show.
Moreau Museum dude. He's really awesome dude. Very real guy.
Yeah. So I'm doing it on Saturday, June 22nd at 6 p.m. I am playing on a PG sim, so no profanities. Also, I'm doing it on a PG sim because I am so involved with LLP. I'd like the kids to be able to come if they want to come out and catch the set. So, because, I had, to be honest, I had mixed feelings. We didn't have littles at our renewal because, I know people have a lot of different feelings on littles in Second Life. And so I just didn't want to cause any.
And our region is adult.
Right. Right. But it is adult, but obviously we can guarantee that nothing's going to happen.
We can guarantee that ourselves, but like new policy says that's a no-go. Even our renewal was before the new terms of service. Fair.
So back then we could have, and even now, because like I said, I have a little, so I have updated the avatar wears like Toddly do and everything, and so I have had a lot of interesting conversations with Zipper around this, because Zipper definitely has some strong opinions on this topic. She has strong opinions on many topics, which I enjoy. Her strong opinions because she's very well spoken, right? She's not just pulling stuff out of her ass. Like, she knows what she's talking about. Right, exactly. There you go. That's a nice way to say it. And so she and I've talked about this topic before, and actually my little wears her skin, and so I had gone to her store more recently on my little, and got the boot, there was like an orb there that kicked her
Right.
out, because it detected she was wearing Toddly Do. And I'm like, that is a cool orb. Like, I was not pissed at all. That was a cool orb. And then
it detects based on the body that you're wearing.
yeah, and that's what it reported.
Is a good way to,
it detected the Toddly Do, and it was like, out. And then actually, I had since you and I talked about that, just last night I encountered another sort of orb where, again, I was on my little and I was going to a sim where they have like a child shopping event, and another orb popped up, and it was an orb to ensure G rating, and so like it detects if you have bits on, like, and then it will give you the boot. I didn't have any bits on, obviously, but the orb gave you a notice. Like, as soon as you get there, it's like, this is a G-rated sim. These are the rules. This is the orb. If you violate any of XYZ, and when I was reading it, I saw the part about like genitalia, right? Like, if you're wearing that stuff, you're out.
Good.
And so I thought, well, there's the flip side, right? So now if we're protecting our G-rated sim because we don't want people coming in with this stuff. And then there's the flip side of, I have an adult sim and I want to protect, anybody who comes here, and, people who are choosing to be in a child avatar, that you should not be here because it's an adult sim, right?
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that people are being proactive about that.
Yeah.
That said, like these solutions the community that are coming up with are excellent. I kind of wish that Linden themselves would implement something along kind of the same lines, because like they throw the policy out there, but then they just expect
people to honor it
and find ways to enforce it.
Yeah, like
we become the ones responsible for making their policy actually enacted, which there's a lot of ingenuity in the community that is able to come up with these sorts of things, but I feel like it shouldn't always come down to us.
Well, I agree. And there's another thing. There's another piece of ingenuity that I want to share with you. So you have the orbs, and now Toddly Do themselves even have something built into the body now. So I had gotten an update for my little, and now what the HUD does is it detects for you if you're in an adult region. So like, I will teleport my little in here because this is our home, right? And as you shared, it's an adult region, and an alert will pop up and it will hide the avatar. And it'll give you a warning. This is an adult region. Are you allowed here? I forget what the buttons say, but it's like, stay here, go teleport home, change outfit, right? So that you, so it's now the body itself is telling you, you have entered an adult region. So what do you want to do about that? Do you want to stay? Do you want to go home? Do you want to change?
Right.
And so whenever I'm here, I say stay because this is our home, and I'm not, it's not an issue here.
Right.
So there's another layer of, another example of ingenuity of the residents to meet the expectations of that policy. And then, there's things like modesty layers and stuff, which, again, the body already had. It already had like built-in underwear.
Right.
So that part wasn't as groundbreaking to me as all these orbs, and now the body itself telling you, hey, you're in an adult region, which I've told you, and I've also told my mom when because she was talking to me about it too, that she's always very mindful of what region she goes into, and I'm not. I teleport wherever I want to go. And so, and then I don't realize I'm in an adult region, and now, the body itself will warn me, you're in an adult region. So then I would go, okay, time to go home because it's not my home. So there's cool things like that. I'm just trying to protect people,
Right.
So, but all right. So that was stuff. SL20B. We were talking about that. So I'm excited about that. Everybody's invited. And that's where the circling around to the littles came in, because like I said, I know a lot of people now who are littles, and, I really enjoy them. So it feels weird to me to exclude them from things. And so I'm glad that I intentionally chose the stage to be on so that they could come if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think that'll be great.
Yeah. So what else is on your list?
That's mostly it. The other thing that I wanted to touch on at least was that, you know, people of course did notice that we weren't posting.
Yeah.
And we definitely appreciate various people checking to make sure we're okay. I know I got messages from Tristan and Zipper and Kala and a few other people
and I think
that I'm blanking on.
You got more of those because when you're gone, you're gone. Like, I'm around still and people can
True.
talk to me, but I'm not posting videos. So there were a couple of inquiries. I know I talked to Zipper as well. I just said, hey, I've been really sick. Because obviously we blog, right? So I feel bad because I'm like, you know, I'm a skinfluencer for Zipper. We blog for Tristan, and I wanted to make sure he knew that we were sick. And then, you know, I like you. I felt bad, but, you know, it couldn't be helped. It was a forced hiatus situation.
Yeah.
So,
doesn't happen often. I mean, we've been really good at staying on top of things, but this one really just took us out.
Totally took us out. And I'm glad to be back because I love creating videos.
I'm so glad to be back too. So, yeah, I mean, obviously people are just going to see the video whenever we post it, but we're going to be, our plan basically is we wanted to get this out, then we're going to get ready to do Fliff, which probably is going to be a tomorrow morning thing.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, also, I mean, this is just a spontaneous thing to add, but we didn't get through all of it, but we started to get through Pride at Home, which is going on, and it's like, you know, the big one because hey, it's Pride. Happy Pride, everybody.
Yeah.
And I would encourage people to do some Pride shopping and let rainbows just explode all over you.
Yep. And Mama Lala was trying to get me to do Pride at Home, and I'm like, I can't. Tour and I started it, and Tour and I are going to finish it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because it was like the one thing we started doing last weekend, because I was well enough, but I couldn't speak. So I wanted to hang out and do something, so we did Pride at Home. And we didn't even get that far. What letter did we get to?
I want to say we got through E, which...
Because people know how we shop. Even though we're not recording, we're still talking. And, you know... And then that's where I'm bringing my little, she's in tow, right? Because there's something she can get. And then she gets the boot from Zipper Store, and then that became a whole thing.
Well, and she just wore her
adult. Yeah, she
adult
changed.
Shape,
And that was fun because then, you know, you were helping her make some choices with what she was wearing. And I was like, I don't know if I approve of these things. So, but she was an adult.
We got all the way through F.
We got through F. But it's like a comprehensive list. This is a really long list.
Yeah, Pride is a lot longer than Fliff. It's not something that we could ever record.
And do in one sitting or even two, probably.
Yeah.
But Mama Lala was pointing out that they have freebies, which I know they do at their like main sim, right? Because you can walk the street and then see the different booths. I remember it from last time. And then you could just you wear your Pride at Home, and then you click and you get free. There's free gifts to pick up because Mama Lala is all about the free gifts.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
She's the queen of Shop and Hop because she's going to pick up all the gifts. She's going to visit all 10,000 Sims and visit and get all the gifts.
Yes.
So, and then when I see her with something that's kind of cool, she'll be like, I got this at the such and such Shop and Hop for free.
She's really good at knowing where she got things too.
Yep.
Like, I can't remember a damn thing usually.
Neither can
I can usually guess, hey, I probably got it at a Fliff.
Yeah.
At some point. Yeah. That's where I get most of my
That's where
things.
we shop. The Fliff or 50. And that's a whole other thing. So the 50 is something we can probably squeeze in because I know there's a round going on that would close on the 20th. So
gotcha. Yeah.
We could squeeze that in. So we've got Fliff to catch up on. We've got the 50 and Mad P streaming with you. I know I'm probably going to do some more wardrobing because that's the thing that I want to do.
Yep.
So
for this weekend, it's probably just these two videos for me. But
well, yeah, I'm not. I know I'm not an all the things person, but I wasn't expecting to do Mad P and stuff with you this weekend.
All right.
This video and Fliff, I know, because we haven't discussed your like availability past that.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm gonna have weekdays after I've done my writing, hours long writing.
Yes.
So I'm gonna reward myself in the afternoons, late afternoons, with SL time.
Which on some days certainly I should be able to join you on.
I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because my house starts getting loud about this time. I'm surprised it's not already.
Yeah.
So
I noticed that.
Yeah.
It's kind of chill still.
Yeah. Evening recording gets to be a bit of a challenge during the week.
Yeah.
And then morning recordings are usually fine because people around here like to sleep in. So, so yeah, we're good with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What other things? Is there anything else we've missed?
That's all I've got.
So far, this video is from all the recording. No, this segment. Well, I started up recording early. So I've been recording for about 46 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
So that's not a crazy amount of time.
No, that's about right for
so
catch up.
Yeah. I guess the only other thing is if there was any Second Life news we should catch up on. Or you want to save it for Fliff?
I think we keep that in Fliff.
Okay.
I wanted to keep this one targeted.
Personal.
Yeah. Because we still have our normal format, and I don't think we're not going to cover all 2 months of featured up news.
No, just the most exciting stuff.
The most exciting stuff for
sure.
And
I'm really refraining from saying anything Second Life news right now.
Yeah, I know.
We kind of touched a little with terms of service for the child avatars.
Yeah.
But then there's the mobile viewer, which I'm not going to go into deeply right now, but I'm going to say it's better, but it's still not there. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm getting impatient. Like, part of me is like, okay, I need to ask Tour again what a cheap gaming laptop costs. Because I just want to veg on the couch watching TV and do my inventory.
Right.
And I'm getting impatient.
Yeah.
Because that's my other middle name. Like, all the things and impatient. And so actually...
all the things now.
Right. Basically, that's a good way to put it. Because I was like, what would we call me? Because back in my Gorian days, I was known as Harta, which means like now.
Yep.
And so that was a nickname I got, and also all the things. So I'm like, how do we blend that? So what did you say? Everything now?
Yeah, all the things now.
Yeah, that's my middle name. So I'm trying to think if there's any other personal things. I don't feel like there are. I think the only other thing I would toss out there, I don't know, it's circling back on Wiccan things, because here's the thing I've run into lately. Like, I started my Moonlit Pathways group, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. But as people will with groups, they come and go, right? So there's some people that I enjoy who have moved on from LLP for their own reasons. And I still want to do Wiccan things with them. But coming back, they're not going to come back to do that if they've left the community, right? So it's like, do I need to have something different so I can have, include those people again? So that's where my brain has gone, which would just result in another meeting. So I am refraining from doing that. But I think the reason I also mention it is because, there's other folks who are not LLP who might just be a part of our community who might be interested in something like that. And then on SL Facebook, somebody was talking about starting a Wiccan group, and I'm already in that. So I have a new SL Wiccan group to check out. So, because that was my thing, like I was telling the kids at LLP, is I feel like I have really explored a lot of the, at least public, pagan groups in Second Life. Yeah. I know a lot of people probably have their own private thing, but I don't know.
And I know I've joined you in a couple of those.
You have. But even telling the kids my story, and it makes me, first of all, it makes me feel old, which was that, I chose to be Wiccan at 16. I am far from 16 now, but from 16 till about 26, about like a decade, I was in a coven. And part of me is like, I really miss that. So I don't call Moonlit Pathways a coven. I just call it like Pagan Fellowship. But it's like, maybe I need like a coven, like apart from that. So it's just something in my head, just kicking it around. So
yeah,
well, you know, I think a lot, you know that.
Yeah.
And then you and I have conversations where you're like, Consuela, have you considered XYZ and your bandwidth?
Sometimes I do.
You're very calm and grounding. It's like you have a lot of fancy ideas. Your head's in the clouds. Let's come back down to earth. Let's be realistic.
And it's. I know that all of your ideas are achievable. The trouble is always finding time to do all of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Because, you know, honestly, even if I didn't have this massive writing project, there's other things I want to do. Like, you know, I want to go outside. You know, I want to ride my bike some more. I want to spend more time with my dogs, because while we have the nearly 8-month-old Malinois Chaos, that is the Maligator, I have a lab who's 8, right? He's 8 years old, and he's got a lot of gray on his face, and it really makes me, you know, think on that I have a limited amount of time with him.
That's true.
So it's like I want to make sure that I'm spending quality time with him. He's a special case because he is reactive. So I can't just go to the dog park with him. Like I have to, when we go out, he gets nervous. So it's like you're just going out in the backyard to hang out with him, or maybe getting like a kiddie pool and filling it with water. So because we don't have a pool here. And see if he enjoys that, because I know he likes to go swimming. I wish we had a pool because he does like to swim. So, you know, it's just finding things to do with my senior dog. Like I'm getting messages from the vet about it's senior dog check-in visit time. And I'm like, well, good, because now I have the whole schedule wide open. I can make an appointment at any time, and I can take my very special senior dog to get his senior appointment. So just kind of excited about spending time with him and not being so busy all the time, you know?
Yeah.
But I know I make myself busy, so.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely important, both with pets and people in your life, to not take time with them for granted.
Yeah.
So yeah. We will be working on the Fliff video next, and I think that's, unless there was something else you wanted to cover here, I think that's pretty much where
this
we're
is
at.
great. I think if we're wrapping up, I'm happy to edit this and get it right up, so people will be like, hey, look, the Rizzlers are back.
Yeah, I think that would be ideal.
Yeah, and then we'll continue our usual tomorrow with some Fliff.
Yeah. So I'm going to get on a little early tomorrow and get my outfit situated.
Because you're not going to work on it after this?
I don't think so.
All right. So I guess then I don't know how to end this. This is just an update video, so...
Yeah, this was just...
Oh, you know what?
To say hi. Oh.
I know how. I'm just going to end it like I usually do. So this is where I take an opportunity to thank everyone for being patient with us, and
for sure,
and not giving up on us, because you know our subscriber count didn't dip; it stayed steady.
Which is
so
amazing.
Thanks for sticking with us through sickness.
It does mean a lot.
I just want to say, like I always do, because it's true, I appreciate every person who watches our videos. So thank you for watching our video,
and we'll see you in the next one.